All right, guys, we're back. Let's jump into the comments, questions that you guys have.
Drinkwater has a question, or this is a comment actually. This is a great point. Spent a lot of time training our ERP consultant what I consider to be the basics of manufacturing.
Yeah, it's just ERP systems, right? Ideally, you want like a manufacturing ERP system. Somebody has a lot of experience manufacturing. Sometimes that's too expensive. ERPs are insane, hundreds of thousands of dollars just to start. So you go with something that's affordable within your budget. Maybe you don't need all those bells and whistles of an enterprise thing, and you're like having to explain to them, no, that doesn't work for us. We got to be like this. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But that is software. I mean, we deal with it too with software that we partner with, and especially on the marketing side, or even hiring employees, people for the office, people in sales, people in marketing, whatever it is, explaining what you do, and they're like, okay, yeah, they usually don't get it.
And Jeff Ray has a question. Suggestions for targeting a niche market, refurbished machinery sales specifically. 1, how to find/engage new customers. 2, keeping customers from one-off sales engaged so that they will reach out to us months or years later when they have a need.
Yeah, so 1 was how to find them. Yeah, so so Jeff, in your niche of like used equipment, I mean, I don't know, that could be up there with probably one of the most competitive markets, right? Everybody's got used equipment that they're selling auctions, people shutting down. They do it, people are doing it out of their house and being like, no, I don't have the equipment. It's at the actual place. I think you need to look at the demographic of who's using your equipment and the value proposition that you're providing to them. There has to be some sort of algorithm, like your customer. Is it you typically deal with companies in this employee range or revenue range, and in this specific industry is going to use this specific type of equipment. There's people that are always looking for new, there's people that are always looking for used. So understanding who is that target demographic, and then trying to reverse engineer that profile and create an ideal customer profile to where the customers that you love the most. So take your top 10, top 20 customers that are repeat buyers or people that are easy to convert, and look for all of their competitors and anybody else in that space. Maybe it's a specific industry, geographic location, size of company, revenue-wise, how many facilities or plants that they have, or what is their end product that they're using it for in the industry that they're in. Look at all that and create an ideal customer profile. And then you really just gotta, if you can use Zoom Info to reverse engineer that search, or Seamless AI or a list tool like that. If not, you're gonna have to go to Google and start to build it out. And you can also do it on LinkedIn, right? Like look at the companies on LinkedIn and look for what industry are they listed in as LinkedIn, which is gonna be different than Zoom Info and Seamless AI because LinkedIn has their own industries. Start there and look for all their competitors. So that's really the basics of where to start. And then sometimes you have to, I don't love going shotgun approach, but sometimes you have to go a little bit more spread out to then find the people that at this point in 2024 are raising their hand and have a need. Because you can't just say like, oh, I know that it's going to be aerospace because they're booming, but you're forgetting about the other industries potentially. So sometimes you got to go a little bit wide to then figure out, okay, what's hot right now, what industry, what company size, what et cetera is hot right now. It's these guys. I'm going to focus more attention on that while still paying attention to everybody else, but I'm going to focus more of my direct attention on that. That's number 1. Number 2, the second question was
how to keep customers from being one-off sales and make sure that they come back to you years or months later when they have a need.
Yeah, so the only way to do that, Jeff, is you got to stay in front of them. So number 1, it's like the experience that they had when they first came in and became a customer. What was that experience like? Were you easy to do business with? Were you transparent with pricing? Did you provide good service, value, etc.? Then number 2 is, what did you do after they became a customer? What was the follow-up? Did you send them some swag, some gifts? Did you send them something every couple of months? Whether that's email marketing, thinking of you, something in the mail. Like I think sending them something in the mail is awesome. Putting them on some sort of subscription that you have where you just like send them coffee or a box of cookies every quarter or something like that to stay in front of them. Because there's tons of people that you have so much competition in your space of used equipment that they could just get enticed by somebody else that's hard, aggressive marketing to them in 3, 6, 9, 12 months or 2 years. They're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna talk to this guy. But if the experience that they had was not memorable or you don't stay in front of them, then they will just forget about you. So something as simple as, like I said, there's companies out there that build swag boxes for you, put it on some sort of cycle where twice a year, it can't just be the Christmas card at the end of the year. Twice a year, you're sending them some sort of gesture of your appreciation for them. that's meaningful to them, ideally. But even if it's generic, like we get, I said the story a couple lives ago. Oracle, who we're not a customer of, sends us a box of brownies. It's like 4 to 6 brownies every single month. If I had a need, I would go to Oracle. I'm not even a customer of theirs. So imagine if we were a customer of theirs, how they probably treat them. So you got to make it memorable, got to keep that follow up. Email marketing campaigns every few months, newsletters, giving them tools, putting something from them. Hey, I know that you just bought some equipment. We just had these things come in. Just wanted to make you aware, or when you're first converting them as a customer, hey, is it okay if I put you on our newsletter? It's a quarterly newsletter or a monthly newsletter. Just let you know what we have in stock, what we have done coming down the pipeline on refurbishment or on stuff that we've purchased, etc. Can I keep in touch with you? And they'll be like, yeah, put me on the list. Is there anybody else at your company that you want me to add to this list? I don't want them to get pissed off and say that I'm spamming them, but ask for that permission to sign up for the newsletter. That's one way to stay in front of them. What else you got?
Mr. Drinkwater has a question on what is your take on the Google ruling? And since this is pretty recent, I did pull up some info on this.
All right.
And it may actually change how advertising and stuff is going to work. So a federal judge has ruled that Google acted illegally to maintain a monopoly in online search. That they paid Apple and Samsung billions of dollars to automatically promote Google as the search query on their devices. So that was the ruling, and there is no action yet, but the judge will decide the action. So I guess that could change.
Like a federal judge?
Yeah.
That's all such BS. Like, here's how I say it. It's Google, right? Like, so they paid Apple and Samsung to promote them. That's advertising. Like, what's the issue with that? I disagree with that. You've got Yahoo, you got Bing, you got DuckDuckGo. You go to each one, like certain demographics use certain things, but it's not like they bought all of them, right? So I know that the feds can come in and say, you can't buy these companies, I believe, because then you would have a monopoly, but there's other things out there. So for them to create a partnership with phone manufacturers to then pay them money to promote them, that's just advertising. So what are my takes on it? I think it's a witch hunt. I think that nothing's going to come from it because it is Google. They're going to get hit with some sort of fine and they're going to have to pay the fine, but nothing's going to change because all of those people are in their pocket because they're big tech. Like, who's got more money in tech than Google? Like, show them to me. And then what's going to come from this is, oh, the so-and-so judge's campaign received donations from these companies, and everybody's in the pocket of all the big tech companies. So I think it's just somebody got pissed off, filed some stuff, and it's just a show to be like, yeah, we're going to punish you, but they're not going to take anything away from Google. Google owns the space and always will.
And then we have a question from a viewer just to give a short recap of what we've talked about.
Short recap of what we talked about. So what we talked about is the challenges and opportunities in industrial marketing. You want to throw the whiteboard up there? Challenge number 1 is the mindset, old school mindset, traditional mindset. The opportunity for you is to be different by doing the 4 pillars of marketing, which are web, or which are SEO, social with LinkedIn, content, and email marketing. Number 2 challenge is the resources. They don't have the resources available to them. In order to circumvent that, the opportunity is focus on working with a niche agency and just work with somebody like us or anybody in industrial space that's going to be better and get you further than a traditional B2B agency. And then challenge number 3 is it's a competitive landscape. There's so much competition, thousands of your competitors doing the same thing essentially. Don't hit me in the comments like, well, we're different because we have better service. Okay, everybody says that same shit. Better service, better engineering, etc. Yep, everybody says it. So it's competitive. The way to stand out is to make content. That is my summary in 68 seconds. Was that 68 seconds?
I don't know exactly.
It could have been.
And then last question we have, Tim Drinkwater asks, what's the white hat in the background?
That white hat is an MFG Tribe hat. That's right there. And that is, let's show that thing off. We've got probably the best swag for industrial side, industrial agencies. We've got the best swag, right? This one's got hashtag industrial on the back. That was actually a misprint by the hat company, but this is one of our hats that we give employees. And also, if you guys are going to be at FabTech in Orlando or at any trade shows, we usually have some of those strategically give those away. So we've got white hats, black hats. I'm thinking that one of these days, Riley, we might have to create like shop.mfgtribe.com and allow people to buy this. That's not a cheap hat.
Yeah.
Okay. So like
hats.
The first time that I bought hats for us, I went through like one of those, who was it? Custom ink type things. And it's like, oh yeah, I want a trucker hat. Got those trucker hats, man. Those trucker hats were garbage that I got. They're so cheap. These things are $37 a piece that we pay for them with our logo on them. We've spent probably $7,000 to $10,000 this year on hats alone. Once you hit a certain time frame here at the company, you get company swag. Everybody gets hats if they want them, and then we give them away to current customers, get some packages from us, and then we also give them away at trade shows strategically, because $35 hats and $35 Yeti tumblers with our logo on it. I'm not trying to break the bank and be poor, giving away all of our swag. If you guys want to learn more about this content, hit the subscribe button down below. Be sure to follow me on LinkedIn. If you guys are like, you know what, Kyle, I just need somebody to take care of this for me, go over to mfgtribe.com, book a discovery call, and let us dig deep into your existing marketing, develop a strategy for you, customized to your business, and execute it for you on a monthly basis. I'll see you on the next one.